Hello friends, today we are going to learn a very important C++ algorithm which is called anyof. Um, this basically returns true when any of the elements in a sequence or in a range satisfies a property. Okay, so it's a very simple algorithm, and you can probably implement this in a couple of lines of code, like using while loop and calling a predicate. But what we are trying to convey here is that please just use the standard library algorithm. What will happen is your code will look cleaner, and that way you don't have to like manufacture your own function or like few lines of code, and the intent will be clear as well. Like any of, if you use this algorithm, it clarifies the intent pretty clearly. Otherwise, if you're using your while loop, then the person who is going to read your code has to spend some time to understand what the intent is. So that is the idea about using standard algorithms. So we'll see a very small example how to use this any of algorithm. So what I've done here is I've written some code already, which is a valid use case for any of algorithm. So you can see there is a lambda function here which returns true when the parameter is greater than 10. Okay, so what, and there's a vector which has four elements, 1 2 3 and 40. So what we are trying to find here is if any of the elements in the vector satisfies the property which is inspected by the lambda function f. Okay, so lambda function f is like a predicate here for the any of algorithm. This algorithm takes a pair of iterators which satisfies the semantics of a range, means it should be the begin and end of the same container. Okay, and it returns true when the any of the elements satisfies the property. Okay, so what we are saying is here is if val is true, then at least one element is greater than 10. Okay, and if that is false, then none of the elements are greater than 10. None of the elements are greater than 10. Okay, so we'll compile this program and see the result. I'm using code blocks IDE here. It says after running the program we get this, at least one element is greater than 10, which is true because we have 40 here. And let's test the other case where none of the elements are greater than 10. So what happens here is, okay, now we run the program and it says none of the elements are greater than 10. Okay, and coincidentally there is an algorithm none of as well, so you can use none of to verify the same similar semantics, which is the opposite of any of. Okay, so in this video we learn how to use any of algorithm instead of writing our own while loop and making the program more complicated than it should be. One more thing, any of algorithm is defined in the standard library header algorithm, so you have to include that header file as well. And that's about it. STD, in the standard library header file algorithm, we have many other um, useful algorithms which are small but quite useful, and you don't have to write those code by yourself, you just have to use them. That helps a lot by while writing code in more productive way. So it helps because you're writing less lines of code, so you have to spend less time writing the code as well, so that improves your productivity. Okay, thank you for watching the video.